wouldn't be going well.
What's up, guys? Joker here, back. Episode, what was it, 23 this week, Brian? Was it 23?
Yeah, episode 23.
Michael Jordan. There's the audio coming back on me like it does every single week. Because what happens is I set up the stream for it, but you can't mute it until like the actual stream starts. Because it doesn't give you any of the volume controls or anything. I'm just like, But anyway, episode 23, man. I'm surprised that we're even able to make it for the show with Fallout 4 being out, dude. I've been playing it nonstop.
Yeah, it's been good. It's been a big distraction for me too. Like I've got to do a few things this week, and it's kind of like get home. I'm like, Fallout 4's there.
Yeah, it's like it's like last night I was like bored. I was like, oh, I don't want to do anything. I was like, oh wait, Fallout. Let's go do that. 6 hours later.
Yeah,
it's like running around,
crazy. Yeah,
running around Sanctuary, becoming the involuntary like garbage man. Basically, it's like I didn't realize until halfway through scrapping Sanctuary to like get materials that I just cleaned this whole place up. This place looks good. It's a little empty, but at least it's cleaned up. Picked up all the old trees and the debris laying around. I was like, all right.
They need a mass scrapping. Like I need a way to scrap quicker. Like just so I'm like literally dashing around, or there's a bot that can just scrap my whole town for me. Because
Codsworth we need like a Codsworth drone that does like that kind of stuff. Scrapping.
Like, cause I got over scrapping like everything in the town after a while. Like picket fence, scrap.
Oh man, I was all over. Like that was I was like enjoying the game, and then as soon as I came across that right there, I was like, and this is when I became addicted.
Yeah,
it's just like I was just like, ooh, I was like, everything I pick up turns into resources. Like, It's like I'm gonna pick all of this up and make an amazing house. And I was going around. I was like, oh, this bathtub is still usable. Let's bring it over here. I was like storing all the bathtubs in like one foundation. I was like, all right, let's keep all the bathtubs here. Let's keep the furniture here that's still usable. And then I got like the blind lady walking around, like, can you build me a chair? I'm like, there's millions of chairs over there. Just go pick a fucking chair.
Yeah, they need to make it like so you got a real estate agent in the game and you can start like look at this beautiful shack that I made.
As you build it up, you could start earning more money and things like that from your
beautiful shack.
Yeah, well, you start making loads of dough.
Then you say $20 IRL, just send it to my PayPal.
Make it all in fat stacks. And someone asked in the chat, James was asking about 21x9 monitor support. So by default, it does not support it, but you can get it to work with a .ini tweak. You can just go and you can tweak the config and get it to work.
Yeah, there is a tweak in the config. I mean, it's not that hard. You go into where the files are all saved, and then you open it up in like text editor for WordPad or just your standard text editor. Either two is fine.
Well, there's actually a config tool you can do it on now, which is like one of our first topics we're going to be up on. But
okay,
but there was but yeah, just moving on basically into Fallout, which is basically like our personal news. Like, do you have any personal news you want to bring up or whatever, or any?
I mean, I got sent a monitor for review, a Korean monitor. So it's got an AHVA. Yeah, it's got an AHVA panel. And it's overclockable and whatnot. So I'm going to be reviewing that probably in the next week.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm going to obviously be playing through Black Ops 3, and I'm playing the campaign on that. That's pretty decent. It's decent.
Yeah, I was playing in co-op with my buddy. We're having a good time playing it.
Yeah, and Fallout 4. I think Fallout 4 is a lot better than Black Ops 3, though.
Oh yeah, I think that goes without saying.
Yeah, I mean, we might as well just get on Fallout 4 news because What about your personal news?
Nothing really too crazy. I mean, I did get that Sapphire R9 380 in, which I've got in the test system now. I was taking it through its paces this morning and messing around with it. Really odd thing that I came across right away though, because I have it hooked up to my 4K secondary screen, right? Which I usually have hooked up over HDMI 2.0 on my 970, which is absolutely fine. But I was I was putting it on. It was like, oh, it's only it's like 4K 30 hertz. And it was capped out, and I couldn't figure out why it was. So I finally looked it up, and this card, this new card, this came out a few months ago, only has HDMI 1.4.
4, yeah.
I was like, are you kidding me?
Cards, yeah.
I couldn't believe that. I was like, what are they in the Stone Age? I was like, I wound up just, I have a DisplayPort to HDMI adapter, so I just slapped that on there rather than running on another cable entirely. And now I could do at least 4K 60 hertz over that.
Okay, but how did that card run in comparison to like the others. Actually, I mean, I know it's not. It's the R9 390 is the GTX 970 competitor, but how did it run anyway?
It's actually surprised me in some areas. Like, all right, so I don't know if this is because I know AMD doesn't handle tessellation as well as NVIDIA. I know that's a thing. So, like, the first benchmarks I ran were Heaven and Valley. So, in Valley, it actually, on my overclock, it got 67 average FPS at 1080p maxed out, which I was actually quite pleased with. I was like, that's pretty good. But then I put it through on Heaven, and it was getting like 20 FPS in the streets because it has all those tessellated cobbles, I think.
Yeah.
Like, but I've never seen that happen with an NVIDIA card before, where like Valley ran that well, but then Heaven didn't. It's usually pretty close between those two benchmarks. So I'm not sure. I'm not 100% sure if it's the tessellation, but it's struggling with the Heaven benchmark for whatever reason. But Valley, it was kicking its ass.
Yeah, so that's why I'd like to get the 390 in more than anything, because it's kind of like the competitor, and then you can sort of say, hey, well, it does this better, it doesn't do that better, and whatnot. So, like, you kind of got to, I think you got to test the 380 against the 960. That's where, because the 970 is a lot better of a card than a 960.
Yeah, well,
I'm assuming 390 would be a lot better too.
Well, you might be surprised how close this actually performs to a 970. It's pretty close.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm gonna. I don't have a 960 on hand, so when I do my review, I'm gonna pair it up against the 970 in my graphs and everything like that, just to show people. Because I'll mention ahead of time, like, I know this isn't a straight up matchup. I'm not going to make the video 380 versus 970 unless it really is that close. Then across everything, then maybe I'll have to. Because if it's $100 less and it's matching that and it has the true 4 gigabytes of video memory, then that could definitely be something to look at for sure.
Yeah, that'd be awesome, eh?
Yeah, I didn't really even get it in to review it. I really just got it in for testing new games, so that when I'm doing my performance reviews, I can test it on as many cards as I want. I want to get even more cards in. I want to get like a 750 Ti. I want to get a 390. Like, I want more cards to come in. It's just, I'm not made of money. Otherwise, I'd buy all the cards, and I would just be like, fucking just have them all just stacked, ready to go. But I also had the 380 and the 970 in the system at the same time. I was looking at that a little bit. I was trying to get that to work, which didn't work out so well for me.
Well, yeah. Yeah.
Well, that release of Ashes of Singularity isn't available to everyone yet, so that's what happened there.
Okay, well, that kind of sucks, because
but it will be soon.
I'd love to see those. Well, I'd love to see those benchmarks.
Oh yeah, I think that would be an interesting pairing right there with the 970 and the 380.
Yeah, so let's get on to the news then. Like, Fallout 4 has been released, and it has sold 1.2 million copies on Steam in just 24 hours. So this is a highly anticipated game, and for good reason. And it's just been, what is it? So the most successful game of 2015? 1.2 million copies in the first 24 hours. That definitely is.
Well, yeah. I mean, I've got the Steam charts up right now, and for like the top 10 games currently being played on Steam. And right now they're at 465,000 people, which is in third place behind Dota 2 and CSGO. And pretty much every single game on this list is a game with a very strong online component, if not the main reason people are probably still playing these games. Is the online. Yeah. And Fallout 4 is the only single-player game on there, so it's amazingly successful right now. Almost 500,000 people playing Fallout 4 right now on the PC alone.
Yeah.
So add that in with consoles, you're probably looking at somewhere about 2 million plus people, I'm guessing.
Yeah, so it's doing really well, but I think this is the game that's been released with a bit of controversy. I mean, when I first loaded it up, it ran like shit, and I think where they have to get this right, and we've got to troubleshoot here a little bit. I mean, because they do have a good game in that the story and the gameplay is good, except there are a few things, and I agree with some of the critics, man. Like, you got an engine that is dated, like just like Black Ops 3, like it's dated, and you can see when some people are disappointed. It's like, okay, well, these bugs that occurred years and years ago still make their way into Fallout 4.
Yeah, just performance bugs. I mean, getting stuck at terminals. There's a lot of bugs. Yeah,
and it's kind of like, I was just surprised as well when I dropped the frame cap off. Like, when I took that off, the game started speeding up. I'm like, what?
I don't know. I must be the only person in the world that is not having this happen. Either that, or I'm just used to games moving that fast, and it just feels normal to me. But
I noticed straight away because I was benchmarking. Like, I was just doing like straight up same area, back and forth, and I noticed it straight away. I was like, whoa, my dude's like running.
When you saw the gameplay in my performance review, did it look like I was moving around sped up?
I don't know. I didn't watch it that. Like, your game was actually micro starting the video play.
No, that was the recording. That was not the gameplay. It's not like that. I saw your comment. I was like thinking back to. I was like, no, I know that. Because that was like my benchmark that I made into the game going through that area. So I ran through that area multiple times. Like there was not any micro stutter.
Okay, well, yeah, but what it looked like on your video was exactly the stuttering I was getting. It was like you just running and it's like.
No, I saw it when I went back and look when you mentioned the timestamp. I went back and looked at it, but I was like that had to have just been the recording because the game was smooth through there. I ran through there again just to like check it out again, and it was like, no, it's fine.
Yeah, well, like, I mean, I got the game and it was doing that. Like, I got outside, out of the elevator and stuff, and I just started, I was in the open area. I was like, this is just unplayable. Like, it's pissing me off. Yeah. And it's saying I'm getting 60 frames per second with whatever settings enabled. But I just started disabling settings. That didn't work. But then I dropped the shadows and then I took off hyperthreading, and that worked really well, like really well. And so it's to the stage now where I've got it playing really smoothly. Like it's good. So I just don't like the fact that they released the game and it's like, you know, because when it first installed on this computer, it was like, do you want to optimize? I'm like, sure. And I got a 4K monitor and it's telling me 1080p. I'm like, what? I got a 980 Ti. You should at least be recommending 1440p.
I think it just defaults to 1080. It seems like.
Yeah, like they have to recommend better recommendations. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, and also like a lot of these issues, like people are reporting, it seems like not everyone is having all of the same issues. Like some people are having some issues, other people are having some others. You know, like you're having the micro stuttering. I didn't have that. I did have the issues getting stuck at terminals, but I didn't initially. And then there are other people that aren't having that at all. So it's like, it's hard to figure out, you know, exactly which direction to go with it because so many people are having all these different little micro issues, but altogether it's like it's a really buggy game. And this is I mean, it has been par for the course from Bethesda for a long time. So this kind of stuff was almost expected, and I think a lot of their hardcore fans actually probably forgive it. But I think for a lot of new people to the franchise, they're like, "Oh, great, it's just another buggy game." You know, it's just another buggy game. But this is like Skyrim was like this, Oblivion was like this, Morrowind was like this, the other Fallouts were like this, and then they get modded, and the community generally fixes it. There was a bug in Skyrim where there was a quest and there was a guy you had to talk to, and he just got stuck and didn't talk to you, so you could not complete the quest. Bethesda never patched this, but there was a mod that fixed it. That was
Jesus. I didn't know that.
And it was like half the people I talked to like had this issue on one of the very early quests in the game where you just got stuck. As my phone's going off here.
Yeah, well, anyway, I know there's going to be some people out there who are like, but it runs fine on the console. Like, you PC pedant. And then, no. Consoles are probably having worse problems than PC players. Like, I'm reading that on the Xbox One, there's sections where the frames just drop to 0. Like, your game's not even moving for a whole second. Like, that is even beyond PC. Like, that is unplayable, like, complete. For me, that'd be a rage uninstall. Like, you know, so like the biggest line is that you get games, and as PC players, I'm sure we're used to getting games, and they're just butter smooth, right? You're playing this game, you're like, hell yeah, give me more. But then you get another game, and you just got stuttering all over the place, and it's unacceptable. So I would love for them to test these things more. And when they release the game, release it, as someone said in the comments in one of my previous videos, release it with warnings, like turning this setting on could cause your game to stutter. Turning this setting off's recommended. Like, they should put recommended there for smoothness or something.
And NVIDIA did put out that tweaking guide, but then it got quickly taken down, which I actually found out why that was, and I can't say exactly why on stream or whatever, but it wasn't as like a big of a thing, like as a lot of people were making, like, oh, it's a controversy, they're trying to cover something up. Like, it was nothing like that.
Really, I know, for me, it was like, well, for me, I don't even look at those recommended guides. I use my eyes. Like, straight away, use my eyes. Just look at the game. Is it playing smoothly? And that's why all the guides that I do, it's just make me literally opening it up. Within 20 seconds, I'll know if the game's running good or not. Oh, if it's not, I'll quickly close it, try some more settings, close it down again, try some more settings, and I'll just keep trying until I get a good blend of what I like.
Yeah.
And so, well, you know, a balance between visual and smooth. And so that's the problem. Like, I think, you know, like people are telling, oh, the game looks amazing, but it can look amazing. But if it's stuttering, I don't want to play it. It's not enjoyable for me. Like, stuttering is worse than input lag. It's worse than screen tearing.
Well, that was actually two things I wanted to ask you right there. Is you kind of touched on there. Is like is first like what your opinions were on how the game looks, and also second, I wanted to ask you if you tested this at all on your Skylake processor, because I was curious if that matched up with the bottleneck that I was getting on my i5. Did that match up at all?
I see. No, my Skylake that's how I disabled hyperthreading. I went upstairs and played it on the 970 at 1440p, and I was like, what is this blasphemy? It's playing really well on my Skylake.
So you weren't getting any drops below 60 like in the cities?
No. See, I didn't make it to the city yet. Like I was just in the open world.
Yeah, so that was my case as well. In the open world and everything like that in the wasteland, it was fine on the 970. But as soon as I would get into the cities, it was just like something like DayZ, where as soon as you get into the cities, the CPU just gets absolutely hammered and the frames just tank. So that's what I wanted. I wanted to test everywhere. Like I want to test indoors. I want to test outdoors. I want to test in the cities. Because I've seen like people talk about performance before, and it's like I watched them, and like I was like, you haven't even left the starting area in the house. Yeah. It's like, could you at least go outside first and then tell us how the game runs, please? Yeah.
Well, for me, it was like as soon as I'm in the open world, because I mean the majority of the time is going to be spent in the open world. I want to test it for that. And like I can't play it even that portion. I mean, when they get to the cities and it's really populated, okay, I can bear with this until I get out of here. But with the open world, I can't have it stuttering. So that's what I was doing all my testing for. And that's the Skylake was running like butter smooth.
And what about the looks? I mean, a lot of people talk about how the game looks, complaining about the visuals, which I said I'm actually okay. I know the textures are bad. The textures are not good. Okay, but when you sit back and look at the total package and the detail of the world and the lighting and everything, I think it looks really good. Like I think it's really good too. I think especially like in the cities, I think it looks really impressive. It's just like when the lights are casting in, you start seeing the shadows casting off the buildings in way the light is interacting differently with all of the different types of surfaces, the wood, the metals, and it's the wet surfaces, dry surfaces. I think it looks great, like from afar. But when you do get if you're like that close to a wall, the textures don't look good.
Yeah, I mean, you can nitpick the graphics, and I know there's people who will say it's 2015, though, it doesn't look as good as Crysis or whatnot, but it's a good game, the story's there. You go outside and you look around, and if you've got all the, the fading distances maxed out, it just looks beautiful. Like,
oh yeah, I've seen like no popping. Like literally, like if I have that stuff maxed out, even on GTA, if I max out that stuff, I still see popping it not that far away. In this game, I can look out for miles and keep walking towards it, and I see nothing popping in.
Yeah, it's good like that, isn't it? So I think they've done a good job in the just the gameplay in general and how it plays. So, I mean, you can nitpick the graphics, but I think they're a lot better than Fallout 3. I think they're better than Skyrim to some degree, and it's a good game. Like it is a good game. Yeah. Once you get past the stuttering and once you get past the issues, which is sad because I mean, I agree with a lot of people. I'd like to see less issues with these games. I mean, even the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. Let's be honest, like 30 FPS. Like what?
At their best, at their best. Yeah, what was that article you were reading? You were saying it was dropping even below that?
Oh, yeah. So, the PS4's suffering drips into the 20s and into the 20s, and the Xbox One's just completely freezing sometimes. So
yeah, I've heard like single frame performance.
And then the guys are like, we're not experiencing these issues.
It's like single frame performance. They're basically playing Fallout 4 the GIF at that point.
You got to love that excuse. We're not experiencing these issues.
Yeah.
Like, you got to love that excuse. Okay,
hey, man,
we're not experiencing these issues. Therefore, we're just going to sell the game to everyone who may be experiencing the issues. We don't care.
and hey, at least on PC, we can kind of fix our own issues. Like on console, they're just kind of, stuck. It's like if they get it and they don't like the FOV or they don't like the input lag. Well, I don't think they even know what input lag is, but they probably don't know what an FOV is either.
You're up shit creek and you got no paddle.
They do have a paddle. They have that controller thing that they hold. That's their paddle, but they're not going to get very far with it, and they won't be able to fix their own games. It's just like shitty. I can't even imagine being in that situation where, these types of issues were popping up. Whereas because I'm so used to that now on PC, where it's like, oh, I don't like this FOV. Oh, they won't let me fix it in the game? Okay, I'll do it in the config. I don't like this mouse acceleration. I'm going to turn that off in the config. Whatever I want to do, I'll just fix it myself if you're not going to let me do it.
So Overhauled Kenobi makes a good point, though. Like, if it was any other game, it would get shredded, but since it's Fallout,
I agree. I
it
agree.
gets babied. I agree to some extent, but for me, it was like, okay, since I could fix these problems within the first day, just like Black Ops 3, I was ready to tear Black Ops 3 a new rear. Like, literally. It was, if the game, for me, if I can get the game and fix it within a few hours, then I'm quite happy with it, regardless of whether it is Fallout. Other people, I'm sure there are other people, though, that are being lenient on it because it is Fallout. But me personally, if the game wasn't, if it was running like crap after I'd done everything with it, I would have given it a bad review.
Well, for all these problems that it's having, I still think it's less buggy than like the buggy games that come out, like Ubisoft games. Like compare this to something like Watch Dogs, and this is like, okay, this is fine. This is fine. Okay, compare this to Assassin's Creed Unity. It's fine.
What's that? What's that noise in the back?
It sounds like a lawnmower or a helicopter outside. One or the other.
Let's mow our lawn at like what 5 in the.
It is literally dark. The sun has gone down. It is dusk, but like it's past dusk at this point.
Just that I can notice it. It's like.
Well, yeah. One last I wanted to mention, like, well, we got the config tool here thing I was going to bring up as well. Because we're talking about all these things like you can fix on the PC base. There's already mods out for, like this, an automatic config tool, so you don't have to, if you don't know how to like mess around with the .inies and the configs and all that, you could just download a tool here. They got it linked up over on PC Invasion if you want to check it out. But all the fixes that you would have had to go into like 3 different config files and do it, now you can just bring it up. It's just like a context menu, just like the options, which basically should be in the game. Or at least the context menus, but you can do it with this mod, and that's what's like great about playing these games. If it's something you don't like or something you want to adjust, you could fix it with this. Great, love seeing this. Like it's already out. Like this is already here. Like it didn't waste any time. There is one thing though that is not being addressed with this, and I think needs to be addressed soon. Is I actually got this brought up by Gopher. He makes a lot of modding videos about, especially a lot of like Skyrim stuff. Gopher's great. But he made a video earlier which was about the key and bindings. So if you're a lefty, usually you map your keys to like the numpad or the arrow keys or something like that. The loot key, which is the same as the interact key, is hardwired to E. So even if you rebind the interact key for other things, like pressing buttons and all that, your loot is still mapped to E. So if you're using the numpad or the arrow keys, if you're a lefty, you still got to reach over with your right hand to hit E. Or your left hand come off the mouse to hit E just so you can loot stuff, which is like arguably the most used button in the game besides walk.
Tab and E, tab E, all those buttons around that area.
Hey, I'm basically using walking around, holding W and just E looting stuff. Like that is it. That finger does not stop moving. I move that finger more than I shoot. So it's the fact that that's hardwired to E is just ridiculous, and it's just indicative of like a bad port and. From a developer that really started out on PC, it's kind of unforgivable, really. It really is.
They do, yeah. There's something else for me. They need to like listen to the community, and especially give this game to some PC players for proper beta testing. Like, I'm sure they got beta testers there who are just like, oh, this is okay, and they're afraid to speak out. But I'm sure a lot of people in the community like us, we've got nothing to lose, so we're just going to tell them straight up, and we care about the community. So they need to give it to people who care about the community. And so, I'll tell them, look, this needs to be fixed. This needs to be fixed. This. And you'll have a good game, Yeah. Anyway, but let's talk quickly about Black Ops 3 as well. The overhauled graphics engine. It's like, no, it ain't overhauled.
They're still in the Quake engine.
It's still, it's Infinity Ward, like Modern Warfare 1, the initial Modern Warfare. They're still running on that same engine. And it's like, between Fallout 4 and Black Ops 3, it's like, it's 2015. Like, there is plenty of better engines than the crappy engines you're using. So, it is annoying that they, because especially the budgets that these guys have are pretty big.
Oh, yeah. It's massive. It's massive. They make more money than anyone every year. There's no reason for them to not innovate and say, you know what, okay, like this could have been the year where, okay, this is the last one we're going to roll out in this engine. And, while they're doing that, they have another team like Sledgehammer or whoever, or Infinity Ward, working on building up a new engine, like Unreal Engine 4 or something, for the next go-around to kind of like, okay, we'll give it to Infinity Ward, which are kind of like the B team now after Treyarch, and Sledgehammer's like the C team. But they could have given them time to sit there and work out the kinks, and then we could have had Treyarch come back in a year or two with their kick-ass title Black Ops 4, World
It's
at War
just like,
2
I
on that
mean,
new
but the
engine.
thing
It's
is,
awesome.
this is the biggest question I have. And are they going to now release the next Call of Duty on this same engine? And I've got a feeling they are.
Of course,
Like, it's
dude. They're gonna keep milking this hog as long as
like,
they can. They are
because
never,
I'm not, after Black Ops 3, I'm not buying another COD game.
dude. As
Like,
long as they continue to make like $1
it's
billion profit every year on selling their games, they're going to
just
keep doing the
because,
same exact thing.
well, Black Ops 3 for me, it was like, okay, Treyarch did a good job on Black Ops 2. I'll give them another shot. But then I get it, and it's kind of like you feel like you're just playing on a polished turd. Like
I mean,
it
hey,
is,
I'm
it
enjoy-
is
I mean,
good.
I'm-
It is better than Advanced Warfare. It is better than
yeah.
Ghosts.
Oh yeah, I'm
But-
enjoying it a lot. It's the first COD I've
Yeah.
enjoyed in quite a while, probably since like Black Ops 1.
Well,
Really,
well, for me, it was Black. I did enjoy Black Ops 2.
I enjoyed it
So
like
it's
for
kinda-
about a week. This one I feel like I've enjoyed a lot more, even though I've had some bugs came up. Like initially, I didn't have any issues with this game at all, but
Yeah.
right after the first day, they had a 30 megabyte patch came out, which just
you told me
absolutely
about that.
it just absolutely killed it for me because I was getting rid of the input lag by capping my frame rate at 90. But as soon as that patch came out, 90 if I ran it at 90 FPS, it was just like stutter. Every 2 steps, it was stuttering really bad, like grinding down to
Yeah.
nothing. So I had to set it back to 144, which now I could play it smoothly, but I've got input lag.
Someone says in the comments, he's pissed because he's got an FX 8350 on Fallout 4. You do not want an AMD CPU on Fallout 4, like straight off the bat. I've
wrong with the
tested
8350?
Skyrim. Well, the IPC, man, this game is like, even though they say it's multi-threaded, it's still predominantly 1 and 2 cores that is running the game, and you want IPC. So if you're playing this game, you want strong IPC. So if you grab like Fallout 4 and you want the best PC for it, like unfortunately you're going to want an Intel CPU. Like if you, I'm going to read more comments on how people
Really,
want
even an i7, really. i5 is just
Yeah.
getting hammered in the cities.
Yeah, I know that.
i7 has
It's,
been slowly becoming more and more viable an option because games have started to take advantage of hyperthreads. This game is one of them. I know you said you had issues with it. I have not. It's using all 6 of my cores and the other 6 additional threads just fucking beautifully.
Yeah.
Using like 20% CPU, just beautiful.
I know, but let's be honest. Like I remember testing Skyrim a crap ton, and the Intels ran a lot better. And it's the same engine, so not a lot's changed at the core. So just putting that out there. So anyway, let's move on now because we got to get through a heap of more topics. So Warhammer End Times. Do you want to take this away? Because you've played this a lot.
Well, the next one up was the Siege system requirements. That's what I added here next.
Okay. Oops.
Yeah.
Must
So,
have missed
but that's
that
all right. We'll go through this first. I've played a bunch of this as well. I played the alpha. I've played the beta. I've played closed technical tests that I'm not allowed to talk about. So I'm not talking about it. Don't tell anyone. But yeah, the system requirements got released. And I could. No, I can't say. I'm sorry. I was.
Let's just move on. Yeah, just move on.
No, we'll talk about the system requirements, but I was going to talk about how it runs on the latest updates, but I can't.
Because the link's not even in in your description.
Really?
So.
Did I? Or whatever. We're going to cover the system requirements because otherwise I would have done a dedicated video on this. So we're going to do it here now. So we're just going to run through these real quick. Minimum system specs. They are saying a 64-bit OS, i3 or AMD Phenom 2 X4, which seems pretty low. 6 gig of RAM, GTX 460 or a 5870 on AMD side, 30 gigabytes of space. So those are like really, really modest specs. I don't know how those will run the game, but pretty modest. Why's he doing Hadoukens over there? What are you doing?
That's it, yeah. You can see me doing Hadoukens.
Yep.
This kid from my class yesterday, he got me onto it. He was doing Hadoukens during the lesson.
So, all right, well, before we move on, we'll also go for the recommended specs here. They are saying i5 2500K, FX 8120. That all sounds pretty reasonable. 8 gigabyte of RAM, GTX 670, 7970, or 280X or R9 380 or Fury X. Why are they saying all of those? It's like 670 or GTX 760 or 960 or AMD 7970, 280X. Or Fury X. That's not even comparable. How is a Fury X equivalent to a 7970? It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, so that's recommended.
That's the recommended, and also recommended on the hard drive space is 47 gigabytes, but the minimum is 30 gig.
You sure they're not just like someone's just speculating and just throwing out a heap of specs?
No, these are the official system specs. These are just really weird specs.
Yeah, that is pretty weird. So, I mean, I haven't even got the article up here, so
It's really weird specs. I think the game is going to run reasonably well, though, if you've played the beta and stuff. But it is going to be a little bit more taxing. They've got some, NVIDIA GameWorks effects are going to be thrown in there with the lighting and stuff. So it's going to be probably more taxing than the last beta that you played. So if you are planning to pick it up, just be aware of that. It's a little bit more beefier of a system it needs to run now. But SLI is maybe going to scale very, very well. Maybe. Not that I would know, but it might scale extremely well. But anyway, let's go ahead and move on to Warhammer. So they got a DLC coming out next month. 300,000 copies sold so far. I praised this game a lot when it came out, and I've still been playing. It's just awesome, absolutely awesome.
Yeah, you're liking it, weren't you?
It's great, man. It's Left 4
medieval.
Dead. Yeah. It's Left 4 Dead set in medieval times with melee weapons. It's great. And they've sold loads of copies. Happy to see them have success with it. They said there was going to be
300,000's a lot. Yeah, that's huge.
Yeah, for a small title like this from a small team, it's a lot. And they said at launch, they told me, no microtransactions, and it looks like they're kind of keeping with that. They're doing a DLC next month, free DLC. It's looking really good. It's looking to see, more continued support for this game. It's gonna be great.
Yeah, I love it when indie. Well, I guess would you consider it indie?
No, it's not really an indie. It's kind of right in the middle. But it's not a full-fledged $60 game. I think they priced it very well.
Well, I just like it when they hit the mark. When a lot of these companies that aren't expected to pull a rabbit out of a hat, they do. It's like, wow, he's the new magician.
Yeah, and they've completely owned the fact that they, copied off Left 4 Dead, but they built upon that as well, because they also built in a lot of, crafting and other RPG elements that aren't in Left 4 Dead, and I think a lot of the aspects in this game are better than Left 4 Dead. I enjoyed this more than Left 4 Dead. I got bored with that really quick. This I've wanted to go back and play more and more because of that leveling system, that dangling carrot, so to speak, that kind of stays in front of you and keeps you wanting to come back and play more.
Yeah.
So you can get level ups, get better weapons, upgrade your equipment, and all that. That makes me want to keep playing this over something like Left 4 Dead.
Yeah. So I'm just starting to read this Take-Two orders, like
let's go
hired muscle. Yeah, the GTA 5 multiplayer project. So looks like they're making a popular mod and. They don't like it, so
yeah. Rockstar and Take-Two don't like it.
Yeah, and that well, I mean, it's kind of funny because apparently the rumor was that they actually sent some hired muscle around to the dude's house.
Wow.
So I mean, like they're not just being GTA 5 on the video game; they're taking it to the streets, baby. Like. Yeah. I mean, I can't take this article seriously. Sorry, you're gonna have to do it. Like.
Well, dude, they don't play around, man. Before there was TGW, okay, there was Slunt Tech, all right.
Yeah.
Before there was TGW, there was Slunt Tech. So you may not have been around for Slunt Tech, but we had did a topic about GTA 5 coming up for the PC. It was before it was out on PC, and all we did was show a couple screenshots that they had published. And I got a takedown notice for the video. I was like, are you kidding me?
Oh, really?
They had posted screenshots of the game on PC. Here's what it looked like in 4K, and we just showed those in the course of the podcast, just like we do here now. Saying,
but journalism, journalism, you're allowed to review. You're allowed to use that if you source it. That's just normal. That's standard journalism.
I got a takedown notice. The video had to come down, and then I wound up taking it down and editing out that part entirely, and then posting it back up again.
I don't know. That's pretty rough, eh? So yeah, it looks like they don't want anyone touching their game. Like,
yeah. Well, it's a little ridiculous what they did with as far as hiring enforcers, but this one is like, it's not just a mod really. It's like they're basically branching off the multiplayer and saying, okay, you've got GTA Online, which which isn't supposed to be modded, so we're going to take the entire multiplayer and make our own multiplayer, which can be modded. So it is kind of directly competing with them.
Yeah. So it's not actually Rockstar; it's the people with the servers Take-Two, yeah, because they don't want. They want people.
Take-Two owns Rockstar.
Yeah,
Take-Two is the big daddy. We always see the name Rockstar, but really it's Take-Two is the parent company. They're kind of like Rockstar's EA.
Yeah, so it's just getting the hired muscle. So
yeah,
I don't know.
Rockstar is to Take-Two like DICE is to EA. You want to know.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to, you've got to embrace the community more if you want. I mean, GTA is just a very iconic franchise, and I mean, they do take their time to release it on PC, which is a good thing. But I mean, at the same time, PC enthusiasts always enjoy mods, and they always enjoy that freedom that console generally doesn't have.
Especially GTA, man.
Take-Two, you should do it, and you would find, like, this is just a message to take too. If you allow these mods, you'll find that you'll get more people into the game anyway, and it'll continue that legacy.
I would argue that a lot of, if not maybe even close to the majority of GTA 5 copies that were sold on PC were sold a lot on the back of people that played and modded GTA 4 and enjoyed it solely for that aspect. And then the game came out, and we found out, like, within a day of it coming out, like, hey, guess what, guys? This game really can't be modded. Like, it can, but it's really not, like, natively supported at all, and they don't want us to either. So they're, like, stopping people from releasing mods and doing everything they can to stop them, which it seems really weird because modding bred so much life, put so much life into GTA 4, kept that game going long after it was over, and a lot of that community is carried into GTA 5 just for that aspect. Now they're kind of being left out in the cold. Like,
so I mean, Take-Two, it's your own. You guys have to decide for yourselves. Do you want to
be a Konami?
Shut it down?
They're gonna be a Konami?
Exactly. I'd rather embrace the community. You embrace the community will support you.
Exactly. They're just
everybody wins. You got to think of it as a win-win-win-win-win situation, not just like a win-lose and what you may think is a win-lose is actually a lose-lose in the long run.
It's like, hey, like, why don't you, like, if you want to, have like mod tools, why don't you charge like a $20 fee and sell a modding license or something like that? Make some money off of that.
That's it. Yeah.
Like not to everyone that wants to mod, but the people that actually build the mods. Like maybe charge them like a $20 a month fee. Like Unreal has a you like basically lease their engine for like $10-$20 a month, and you could build on that engine. So why not do something like that, and just keep everything separate? Yeah. I mean, as long as people aren't modding the multiplayer and then coming into public GTA Online lobbies and messing it up for other people that aren't modded, I don't see a big deal with it.
Yeah, I don't know. Just food for thought there, Take-Two. Anyway, do you want to move on to Gamer spends $30K on Star Citizen so far?
I think this is one of our viewers, maybe. I'm just kidding. I don't know. Do you remember there was one guy in our comments that said he spent like a buttload of money on Star Citizen?
Oh, that was Archie Way. I think he said he spent $4,000. No, I think this guy tops that.
Okay, this guy tops it. Sorry, Archie.
Yeah. Sorry, Archie. This guy tops you. Yeah, this guy's 30K. He's 30K deep, and he's like, look, man, I'm working for Star Citizen. Like, he's just, like, that's all he's doing. He's working 2 jobs. I think it says 2 jobs, and he's just going crazy. Like, he just wants some Star Citizen in his life.
It's crazy.
And, I mean, I get to the stage where I wouldn't back a game that I mean, me personally, I just couldn't see myself backing a game for 30K.
For 30K, you better be getting stock options.
Yeah, exactly. All right. I mean, yeah. I mean, sure. If it's his passion, I mean, I'm not going to critique the guy. If it's his passion and he can't wait for this
I'm not judging him but for that, I would expect a possibility of a return on investment.
Yeah, I'm just telling people, like, if you want to spend money on Star Citizen, just as we said in earlier episodes, just be prepared to only invest what you can afford to lose.
30 grand is like, at that point, he's a small scale VC essentially. I mean,
yeah. So, I mean, yeah, that's a lot of money to put into a video game. So, I mean, hats off to him. I mean, he's pumped for Star Citizen. He loves it. He wants this is his life.
Like he's been out at all the events. He's met, Chris Roberts and everything. So,
30K for me, man, that's like, that's a child.
A year's salary.
That's having a kid for me. Like, I could, get a kid ready and.
Oh man! Speaking of
Baby Factory.
Speaking of year's salary, before we move on to tech, I saw like someone was complaining about the pricing for AUD in on Steam, where basically they list the USD prices. So it's like Fallout 4, it's like says 80 USD, but when they go to check out with AUD, it's like 120 AUD. It's like, are you fucking kidding?
Yeah, I mean, the currency's weak at the moment. And you pull up Google and you just type AUD to USD. I mean, I'll do it right now.
Oh, like, and I had to ask you this. The guy in the comments, I don't know if he was joking or if he was serious, but they referred to the AUD as dollar reduce.
What?
He referred to the AUD as dollar reduce.
Dollar reduce? I've never heard that before. So 70 US cents. 70 cents, so 70 US cents. So it's weak at the moment, man. And then you've got to take into account that
they're marking it up as well. Why are they marking it up too?
The markup, I mean, we've got to pay GST. Like,
well, it's 80 US dollars where it's 60 here in the US. So they got a $20 markup.
Okay, well, that's a ripoff, yeah. Should only be a 10% markup. Should only be 66 USD at worst.
Well, they're charging 80 USD, and then there's the AUD factor to come into it as well.
And this is the thing, right? Well, if that's the case, I've told people who've said that to me. It's like, I don't even know because I'm just buying my keys on cdkeys.com where they don't charge that. They're only changing it around in currencies.
Yeah, if you've
like, you know what I mean?
If you're living in a country like that, it's almost like mandatory to buy somewhere like that or G2.
Yeah. Like, don't get ripped off, people. Head to CD Keys, use my affiliate link in the process.
Or mine.
And use Jokers. Or use Jokers.
Or Brian's. Whoever you like
flip
more.
a coin.
Vote in the chat now. Who do you like more?
Yeah. Yeah, just flip a coin, though. Flip a coin. Use our affiliate codes because we get a little kickback. It's all good.
Hey, maybe you go back and forth. One time you use mine, one time you use Brian's. Back and forth.
Yeah, but I mean, if you're in Oz and you don't want to get ripped off, go ahead to cdkeys.com. Hell, don't even use our affiliate links if you hate us.
We honestly, we are not sponsored by them. They have no idea who we are.
Yeah. Yeah,
we just got affiliate links for them.
That's what I mean. Yeah, that's what I mean. If you hate us, just load up a fresh browser and get rid of the affiliate code.
Yeah, don't even use the affiliate code. It's just cheap to save money. It's like I bought like AC Syndicate on there for like $30. Like everything is so cheap.
Yeah. So cheap. Yeah, if you're in Oz, my fellow Aussies, do not get ripped off. Go ahead to G2A or wherever there is. I mean, the CD Keys, Green Man Gaming.
Yeah, browse around and find the cheapest price.
Yeah.
Sometimes Green Man Gaming can be cheapest. CD Keys can be cheaper, or G2A. I browse around and try to find the best one. Another great place is if you go to cheapshark.com and type in any game title, it actually pulls the pricing from like 8 or 10 different websites and then tells you, okay, it's $60 here, $50 here, $52 here. It tells you where the cheapest place is. And then, you click it and it takes you somewhere and then they get an affiliate kickback. But at least you find out where the cheapest price is.
But yeah, a 20 USD markup on a digital download is absurd. Let's just put that out there. Yeah. So anyway, it's ridiculous. So it's ridiculous. Anyway.
Yeah, so you want to go to our first tech topic? This one's exciting.
We're going to go. First tech topic, baby. Finally on. Can we get a drum roll? I'll do a drum roll for me. There we go. So we're getting drum roll. First tech topic, we got the 27-inch gaming monitor from Dell. Like, I was surprised when I read this.
We just found out about this right before the show. It's great.
Yeah. So fresh off the press, guys, 144 hertz. And it's TN. Now, I know some people
as well.
Yeah.
G-Sync.
So we'll get G-Sync 1440p. I mean, there's some people out there who are going to go, "Oh, it's TN." Yeah, let's be honest, it's TN, Brian.
Let's be honest, it's a Swift inside a Dell case.
Exactly. Yeah. So
but it's Dell. Probably, it's not a Swift.
But this is the thing. It could be a better Asus monitor because I mean the Asus Swift was plagued with problems. So hopefully Dell have done their homework. They've said, "Look," and I know one thing about Dell is they're good with input lag. If they want to make a monitor have low input lag, they definitely can. Like that Dell 24-inch that I had come through, that had some of the best input lag I've ever seen in my life.
I'll just say,
and then I went over to the monitors. TFT Central. They tested it for input lag. It was like 1 millisecond or something. It was stupid low. So Dell know what they're doing with input lag. 1 millisecond response time, TN panel. This is definitely got the specs for like pro gaming and. I could see a lot of like people picking this up, and then you go to like a LAN event, you'll be like, "What? Someone's using a Dell?"
Dude, I'll even say that's the base on it. The stand actually even looks the same shape as the bottom of the Swift, and it's got the same type of bezel as well. The very slim. It's like the Asus Swift in a Dell kind of professional looking package, but I like it like that. I hope it's not the same TN panel as the first gen Swift because that would be really disappointing.
Yeah, exactly. I hope they get it right in terms of everything else.
TN panel without that AG coding and all that stuff and the cross hatching and.
Well, see, I think Dell's waited it. I think Asus were just fresh off the market, and they were probably too hastily in that your standard deviation was bad. Like you had a lot of these monitors failing, but I think Dell are probably like, okay, well, it's time. Everything's matured. We can get some good panels in here. Bang, bingo, ship them off. 144 hertz, 1 millisecond. I mean, so a lot of gamers are going to be enjoying this. So
and also, I was saying this.
It is a bit steep.
Yeah, $800, right? Yeah. Yeah. And I was saying this before the show, but I'll tell you guys now again here. The thing that excites me really about this is that it's a Dell monitor. It's a gaming monitor. No Alienware logos to be found.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, they have a picture of that Alienware Area 51 piece of shit next to it, but just forget about that. Just cut that off the screen. The monitor looks legit, and it's just a Dell monitor, not an Alienware gaming monitor with LEDs and all that stuff. Yeah, and it's got HDMI on it too, HDMI and DisplayPort. So if
I
you
think it's
wanted to hook up
1.4 though. 1.4, would that do 144 hertz? I
No,
don't think
no, but if you wanted to hook up a console to it, then you'd be all right.
Yeah.
You know, I think that's what it should be. Yeah, you're right though. It should be HDMI 2.0, but I think mostly they're putting that on there because some people do buy these monitors because they want to hook up like a gaming console as well. I know a lot of people messaged me about the Acer and the Swift when it came out. It was like, well, I want to get it, but I also want to be able to hook up my PS4 on it and just be able to switch the inputs when I want to play PS4, and that's reasonable. So,
well, you've definitely got that option to do that with the 27-inch. So yeah, I mean, it's good news. Like at least there's some other
more competition.
competitors.
Yeah, besides Acer and Asus, which have both had their problems with quality control. And I think this monitor is exciting to see something fresh in the scene. I haven't even heard about this literally today, and now it's out. You can add it to cart right now for $800.
Right now,
like we don't know how it is. You could be the first one to tell us. Buy it. Let us know.
Yeah. So
because I'd be curious as hell to. I'm keen as mustard to find out about this one, man. I might hit up Dell about this. Like, hey Dell, I know you guys.
Keen as mustard. So you're keen as mustard to know if it's the duck's nuts.
It's like, hey, I don't know if you guys know me or not, but I'd like to look at your monitor.
Yeah,
we need to go ham on Twitter and go hit them up. Like Joker needs a Dell monitor.
Yeah. Well, we're kind of running out of time though. We better.
Yeah, let's move on.
We better like pace it a little bit.
All right, fine. Brian's in a rush because he didn't like you guys. It's fine though. Fine.
No. We can keep talking about the Dell monitor, or we can talk about the class action lawsuit.
Yeah, go on.
AMD. So a lot of people ask me, like, Brian, you talking about the class action lawsuit this week? Yeah, we are, baby. Of course.
We don't miss anything on the Tech Gaming Weekly, baby.
That's it. So 8-core processors. This is a little bit of an interesting dilemma. And I'm going to say ultimately, do you want to get off with the ultimatum straight away?
Go on.
Like, well, I don't think anything will happen in the end because there's 8 cores on the CPU. Like in a technical definition, there is 8 cores on those CPUs. So I don't think AMD is going to be in any trouble. And everyone sort of knew that it was a hybrid design. Like they weren't 8 full on. They didn't advertise it as 8 FPUs. When they listed the specs of the CPU, there was just 8 cores. Now, if you don't know the difference between a floating point unit and a core, that's not AMD's fault, Yeah. And I think a lot of this spans from the fact that AMD this time around, like, unlike NVIDIA, AMD haven't really deceptively marketed this either. Like, I could say with the GTX 970, there was a bit of deception there. And, I mean, NVIDIA played the we didn't know card. And, I mean, that's true. They might not have known. There might have been a mistake. Who knows? But with AMD, they haven't been deceptive at all. Like, they
just use clever marketing terms.
Exactly, right?
I still feel like it's deceitful.
Oh, you do.
I feel like they used that terminology knowing full well what they thought people would think it was.
True. I mean, yes and no. I mean, people are going to look at it 8 cores. Oh my god, it's so much better than a 4-core. And like, actually, that is true though.
It's
thinking
like
back to,
it's like on YouTube, like having like clickbait titles or something like that. It's like people get there and they're like, oh, they were expecting one thing, and it's like, oh, you didn't really talk about that, did you? It's like clickbait. I've seen it before, and that's how I feel about this. Like, oh, this is like fucking bait and switch, man. I feel like you just told me it's 8-core to get me here, and now that I'm here, you're just like, oh no, we're actually gonna fuck you in the ass. It's like,
I mean, the thing is, like, I remember back when the 3570K was out, and it was a big battle between which is the better CPU, the FX 8320 or the 3570K. And that was kind of like the stage where it was ripe. A lot of people were like, it's 8 cores, it's better. And it's like, you don't understand CPUs. That's not all there is to it. They've both got 4 floating point units and blah, blah, blah. And then Intel's got better IPC, whatnot. But I don't know. At the end of the day, it's hard because just like NVIDIA with the GTX 970, right? They can go to core, they can say this and that. At the end of the day, the card did have 4 gigabytes of GDDR5 memory on it. It did have 256 bits of a bus on it, even though the way it was working in actual practice wasn't true to the standard 4 gigabytes of GDDR5 memory over a 256-bit wide bit bus.
Yeah, it's just like it's technicalities when it comes down to naming.
Yeah, it's technicalities, but this is the world we live in, ladies and gentlemen. I don't think AMD's done anything legally wrong. Morally wrong, that's up for debate, but I'm sitting on the fence. In the court of law, We live by a world of laws. I mean, you look at marketing, right? I mean, it's there for a reason. You know, marketing works whether you like it or not. Joker, our channels arguably live off marketing.
Absolutely.
You know, so we can't blame a company for trying to be smart when it comes to marketing, bending the rules.
Oh, I can.
I bend the rules when it comes to certain things. You know, I go down to 7-Eleven and fill up my regular coffee cup with a large coffee because at the end of the day, I'm paying for a cup of coffee and I want to fill the freaking thing up with coffee. So I press the large button. I'm pissed off because when I press a regular, I only get a regular. So I don't know. Like, at the end of the day, I'm torn between this, and I don't know like what exactly to say. 'Cause we're live, you know, so I don't know what to say really about what's right and wrong.
Well,
Clearly,
I said what I was. I think it's deceitful in the same way that, you know, like I mentioned, like YouTube. You know, people bringing people in with a clickbait title. I think they do it ahead of time, knowing full well what they're doing. Like when people put out these titles, like I see, like there's a channel called The Know. They do this so much, where they just put out like a title that's going to get people's attentions, like Fallout 4 broken ? And it's because they put that question mark, they basically have carte blanche to say whatever the fuck they want in that video because they put a question mark at the end. It's like, no, sorry, you knew what the fuck you were doing. Don't even play that shit. Like, don't. Oh no. Well, we asked. No, you knew what the fuck you were doing. You're being deceitful. End of subject. There's no excuse for it. No excuse for it.
So I mean, yeah, that's what I mean. At the end of the day, this will be interesting to see how this pans out in court because a lot of people saying that it just can be thrown aside. I think, you know, at the end of the day, this guy was probably pissed off. He probably bought an 8-core and then bought a 4-core, and he was like, "What the hell? 4-core is running better." So, but that's got to do with the IPC, as I said. There's other factors involved.
Yeah, and the Bulldozers had a lot of performance issues at launch as well, too. I mean, this is not the first time they've had issues with the Bulldozer.
Yeah, so I mean, I don't know. Like, I honestly, like, people come here asking for an informed opinion. I don't know how this will pan out in court because I think AMD will be fine because technically it is 8 cores. They haven't, like, at the end of the day, when it all comes down to the dirt, there is 8 cores on those CPUs. Whether they're true individual cores is up for debate because they're not.
Yeah,
but
well, I don't know. I'm still. I mean, hey, I'm still just. Before we move on, I'll just say I'm of the mind that I blame them for what they did. I blame Nvidia for what they did. I don't think there's any excuse for, you know, with all of the filters that this kind of stuff, especially with the Nvidia thing, the amount of filters that marketing had to have gone through before it made it to mass publication, and it still hasn't been corrected now. When we've
well, what I will say is this: if someone can prove, you know, because AMD did have a 6-core before that, I believe. Was it the 1045T or something?
They did have a 6-core. I don't remember which model number it was.
Now, if someone can prove that CPU can beat an FX80 or whatever, FX8150, the successor, in any of those benchmarks, then that is actually plausible concern for, like, what's a warranted concern for suing, because you're releasing an 8-core is performing better than a 6-core, and it's a successor from the same company. So I hope that no one can prove that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If the 8-core is not running as well as their own 6-core that is a predecessor, then that is kind of like, yeah. So I think that's the test that, if there is any validity to this argument, they're the tests that you're going to want to run.
Yeah, well,
is the predecessor 6-core versus the 8-core. And I don't have any of these parts on hand, so don't look at me, and I don't have time at the moment. I've got like so many review samples to do.
And we got 4 more topics to get through. But I would definitely we're gonna move on to, we got another AMD topic here, but definitely let us know, you know, in the comments when this is uploaded or in the chat, you know, now, like, you know, I'd be curious to see what you guys think about it, like on which side are you on, because, you know, it seems like Brian aren't agreeing on it 100% one way or the other, so, which is fine. That's, you know, people have different opinions about this kind of stuff. So
exactly.
I would be curious to see how you guys feel about this as well, between this or Nvidia.
Well, like I said, I'm on the fence because I would love to see the 1045T versus the FX8150. Same clocks, array of different benchmarks, and see what comes up.
Yeah, so we got one more AMD topic here, so we can get through these here. they're trying to win the graphics battle next year, which I think we've been covering this for a while. I think we've been seeing leading up to this hasn't really surprised me too much.
Yeah.
But they renamed the graphics division, and we know their financial situation where 2016 is basically going to have to be it. They got to do something big in 2016 or they're done.
Exactly. 2016 is the AMD make or break year. Like, they got Zen coming out. They've, I think, is Arctic Islands due to come out in 2016? It is, yeah.
Probably, yeah. Them
so they have to
all coming out next year.
Yeah, they have to make or break. 2016 is the year of either AMD makes it or they don't. And I mean, like, hey, Neil Spicer, man, he looks very photogenic. He's got that very, chiseled jaw and all that. Better watch out, guys. Yeah, he looks like the perfect rep for marketing. Like, this can be done, guys.
He also looks like the first guy that gets fired after this fucking goes under.
Yeah, if it does, yeah.
You just see that guy that cover all the news stories like, oh yes, Neil Spencer is fired today. Yeah,
it's his fault. Point the finger. Yeah. So I mean, look, we're all hopeful. Like AMD, I've changed from critiquing AMD to just saying, look, AMD, I'm waiting to see what you guys can do. Let's not talk about it anymore. Zen's rumored to be good. I'm hoping it can be good, and I'm hoping on the GPU side of things they can bring something new that can really stick it to NVIDIA. And
well,
I mean, I'm sure a lot of us hope so.
Well, on the graphics side, I think it's going to be so close. It's really going to be, HBM2 versus HBM2. It's so they're going to have to do something strong at the core to beat NVIDIA, really, because memory-wise, they're not going to have the HBM versus NVIDIA using GDR5 next time around. This is going to be... Yeah. The memory is going to be even, so it's going to really come down to whose core is better, whose core is faster,
whose architecture,
who's got more cores, who's got more architecture.
I'm just very curious to see if they're going to do a complete overhaul on their architecture.
The GCN, well,
yeah, I'm just curious to see that. So, I mean, yeah, sky's the limit. Show us what you got, baby.
That's it. They got 2016, and then that's it.
Yep, that's it. That's it, guys.
Yep,
AMD.
That's all she wrote. So you want to talk about this GPU liquid cooling bracket from Corsair? It's pretty cool looking up.
Yeah, it's a good, like, I brought this up because it's actually a cool solution for those people who get, say, a reference card, or like me, I've got like a mediocre GDX 980 Ti, and you just want it running balls to the wall all day, every day. Like, you just want this thing, as max as it can go, and you don't want to have to deal with noisy fans. That's what this is going to do. Like, it looks like a good solution where you can just whack a water cooler on and you've still got that cooling there for your VRM and memory.
I still don't like that they're using an Asetek cooler though.
Yeah, see, I mean, like, what is with that though? Like, that's what I mean. I might just buy the actual $60 block. Like, you've got
just buy the block and go grab an Intermax or a Deep Cool or something like that and just slap it on there.
Exactly right. Yeah. So that's what I was thinking. Like, grab the actual block for $60. That's not too bad.
It actually is nice that you could pick your own water cooler, because on like EVGA, they sell something like this, but it's got everything is pre-attached. It's like you're using their stuff no matter what. This you can get your own cooler, that's actually pretty nice.
So yeah, props for Corsair. That's pretty cool. Like, I do like that aspect. And then you can, go grab whatever you want. So maybe the Captain might find a new home. The Captain 240. But I'm loving that on this. It's pretty quiet. Like, on the 6600K, it's really quiet.
Yeah, you should hit them up and slap one of those on your 980 Ti with the Deep Cool. I was like, yeah,
that's it, eh? I like this. I think you're going to see a few more options like this coming out because it is in demand. Like, I do want my graphics card going crazy at 4K because I've only got one of them and I want it maxed out.
Honestly,
at the moment, I'm kind of running it on a blend. Like,
honestly, I was saying I wouldn't be surprised if the next thing we see is EK comes out with something like this. Like, here you go, GPU all-in-one bracket.
I tell you what, it's going to be successful though. It's a good idea, and it's a good idea because people want to get the most out of their GPUs, and
not
especially
everyone wants to do custom loops.
Yeah, exactly. Like, for me, I can't do a custom loop because I'm in Japan where there's like no people who sell custom parts here. And I'm on the fence whether I want to take like the eBay option. Has anyone done an eBay water cooling job? And if so, let us know in the comments. Like, did it leak within the first few months or in the first few weeks?
I mean, you could always order all your stuff off EK water blocks, have it shipped to my house, and then I'll send it over.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true. But wouldn't start getting expensive with the rad and stuff. I don't know.
It's going to be expensive anyway, man. EK stuff is fucking pricey. You're already looking at a $500-$600 job at least.
Yeah, so I mean, just for a graphics card. So that's what I mean. This could be the option that is kind of like, okay, you spend $100 and something, but you've got way better cooling on your graphics card now. So I really like where this is going. I think it's a great idea for Corsair. So, like I could imagine, like slapping a cooler 240 on that, Captain 240 that I got here, because I've got so many air coolers here anyway. So I could slap one of the air coolers back on the CPU, and then see how it goes. So, even just slap an air cooler on this bad.
You need to slap the Noctua on there.
Yeah, the D15, like that'd be hilarious, hey.
It's ridiculous. Oh my god, talk about GPU sag then.
Like it'd break, oh man. It
would literally be resting on the power supply at that point with that fucker in there.
Yeah, it'd be break. Some would break. So anyway.
Yeah, next one. This EVGA. They've got, which we've praised. They've got those amazing super flower PSUs. They're fucking awesome. Some of the best power supplies out there. And keeping prices in line as well. They're now launching a GQ series, which to basically to me, it's basically the G2, but it's got the 24 pin is pre-attached, so it's semi-modular, but it's only the 24 pin attached, which is nice. And it's all black, which is good. They learned, I think, from the G2. The G2 had red cables. As soon as up to 850 watts, they were all black. As soon as you got to the 1,000 watt, all the VGA cables were red, which is like a really odd choice because it didn't match. But these are going to be all black. It's going to be, it looks like about maybe $20, $30 less than the G2 variants, which, you're saving a little bit there, but you're getting semi-modular, so you have your power cable pre-attached, which isn't a big deal because you're probably going to use it anyway. And I think they have the added benefit of their cables actually look good. Like, they're all black. They don't have any of that rainbow shit sticking out. They're actually good-looking cables. And these power supplies
they're still not individually braided, though. So, I mean, you'd probably still find yourself getting extension cables.
Yeah, and EVGA sells their, they do their own sleeve cable set. That's what I have in my main PC. I bought their white sleeved cable set for my G2 power supply, and it worked out great.
Yeah, I mean, with power supplies, I'm not too fussed as long as all the components are in there. Like cables, I'm really not too fussed. As long as there's a low noise fan in there that does a really good job and it's got strong components in there, I'm all for any. Like, there's a lot of different good SU manufacturers out there, EVGA being one of them now. So, I'm glad that they're releasing. They just keep building on their success, and they're really they're really standing out in the power supply market now, which is good.
Before I always just thought of them, graphics cards, and now it's like their power supplies are some of the best. Really are.
I mean, their motherboards aren't too popular internationally. I know that. Like in Japan, no one buys their motherboards.
Their motherboards are no.
Yeah.
They had so many problems on X99. Like, they put their PCI slots way too close to the RAM slots. Like, you couldn't even fit some graphics cards in there with backplates without hitting the RAM slots.
Really?
On my Z170 FTW board, they have no USB 2 header. Like, they just miss a lot of easy stuff on their motherboards, and it just makes no sense because it should not be missed in 2015. It's like
that's
basic.
True, yeah.
It should be just common stuff that you should not even have to think about. Like, you shouldn't have to, like, if you order a motherboard, you shouldn't even have to think about whether or not it's going to have a USB 2 header. It should be the last thing on your mind. But this motherboard, I didn't find it until I had it because I was just like, ooh, it's all black. I want it. Got it.
Yeah.
No USB 2 header. Great. Now I've got 2 ports in the front of my case that I can't use.
That's true. Well, they definitely nailed it on graphics cards and power supplies, which is a good thing. So,
yeah.
You want to move on to Snapdragon 820?
Yeah, last topic of the day. This just got announced. I mean, people have been waiting for this for a while because the 810 had a lot of issues. Like, about all the issues that were the power usage and the heat issues. The 810 had a lot of issues, but it was fast. But the 820 now, 30% less power, which means it's going to be running cooler theoretically, faster than the old processor. So this is meaning a lot for new smartphones that are going to come out in the coming years. A lot faster, cooler running, and all that. So this is good news all around if you're into the whole smartphone scene and keeping up to date with that.
Yeah, I mean, a good thing all around. Except all I need my smartphone to do is play music, look at Twitter, Skype call. Yeah, I don't really need a Snapdragon 820. Just putting that out there.
Oh, I do. I like my phone to be fast and snappy. Like, my big problem with the S6 Edge is the battery life because it's pulling so much damn power. So
yeah,
I mean,
actually, I was keen to see what Huawei. I was keen to keep what they're doing, like, because they're making their own Kirin, isn't it? In-house design. So
I don't think anyone has ever heard of Huawei besides you. So
I am loving them, dude. Like, honestly, you might want to try one of their phones.
I don't think
they're
they
surprisingly
sell them in
good.
I think that's
well, they
Japanese
should.
Brand. I think that's a Japanese brand.
It's like, apparently it's one of the biggest in China now. So I'm a real big fan of Huawei phones. Like, if you can get one, on the internet for pretty cheap. Like this phone has just been a bliss, man. Like I have not had one hiccup with this phone. I just absolutely love it. You know, and I've tried other phones before that have just been crap from popular Sharp. I tried just one of these Sharp smartphones here. It was like, this thing's poo. Like I want my Huawei back.
You know,
So
I'm a Samsung fanboy.
yeah, well, I'm a Huawei fanboy, man. So I'm going to be following.
I like my Galaxy, my S6 Edge with my curved screen and all that.
Okay, you like your curved screen. Okay,
Yeah,
you like your curved goodness.
that I never use except for sometimes I rub the side of the screen like that, like the side of a genie's lamp, and then through some magic it like tells me what time it is right on the side of the phone just by rubbing it like a genie lamp. It's good, good stuff.
All right. Well, anyway, let's go to the comments. So we're going to be taking questions for like 10 minutes. So if anyone is out there who has a big question that they were just dying to get off their chest, shoot in the comments, guys, because we're waiting for your comments.
Yes.
But yeah, like, yeah. But yeah, like, I'm pretty sure Huawei, like Aerobaron only says in the comments, yeah, like Huawei are bigger than you think. I think they are, man. I think like they're not number 1, number 2 or 3 in the world for making smartphones.
Not in America. Well, not in America. I guess that's the bubble we live in America. It's all big brands.
Yeah.
I've never heard of them until you mentioned them to me.
Yeah. You might want to check it out. So they're pretty big. So and they're good. That's the thing. They make good smartphones.
Samsung.
So, yeah. No. Huawei.
Blind allegiance. Blind allegiance.
Yeah. You do have your blind allegiance to Samsung.
Samsung can do no wrong.
Yeah.
I installed this brainwashing app last night. It doesn't seem to be working though.
What is it? Brainwashing app?
Just kidding.
Yeah, that's it. You installed it, man. It's working.
We talked about the Fallout 4 technical issues a lot earlier, Mitchell, at the beginning of the show. It's like we talked about it for like a half hour, really.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Did you get that Predator in that X34?
No, I was supposed to get that today, but the guy, he got called into work like last minute, so hopefully tomorrow or Friday the latest, but I should have by this weekend if he doesn't stand me up. So hopefully, if you're watching Sloppy Wet Blow, I'm coming for you.
Yeah. Well, also, yeah. So that pretty much, yeah, we did talk about Fallout 4, like almost the first half of the show. So go check out that. But, you know, someone asked if you've read his thoughts on the i5 bottlenecks.
I don't know. I've read through a lot of the comments. There was a lot of people commenting on it. I'm not sure. I don't remember your name specifically tied to one. Probably because you don't have a profile picture, and I usually always associate profile pictures with the name. So if you have a default profile picture, I probably have no idea who you are because there's so many of them. And that's how I remember names, is by seeing the profile pictures like over and over again, because there's so many comments a day. So I can't remember just names unless I have a profile picture to go with it. Like Richard Dale. I know Richard Dale because he's been commenting forever, and I know his profile picture. And his name is oddly enough saved in my phone as the first thing that comes up on any chat messages I type on my keyboard, because I guess I replied to him once in a comment, like when I first got my phone. So now my phone thinks that Richard Dale is the most important words that it needs to know. So anytime the keyboard comes up, the pre-word saved words there are Richard Dale. I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding. I've told him about this. I hate you, Richard. I hate you. I hate you for it.
Someone said, yeah, optimizing for an i5 6600 non-K. I mean, you'd have to drop some. If you want the best, smoothest possible experience, I think something that will affect the CPU is the draw distance. I know that will affect CPUs a little bit. So you might want to drop down the drawing, like the fade distances. So try that first, and then it should be running okay. But I mean, as long as you're getting over 60 FPS, then you're fine. So in that regard. Also, 8 gigabytes of RAM will be fine for Fallout 4. And yeah, my wall is looking pretty hot today. Oh yeah,
it's looking very red.
So, but yeah, I'm just trying to think of other things. I had something I was going to say, but I forgot it. Do you ever get like it is in the morning, so I am tired. So
every single day.
Yeah, it just happens, man.
Wait, who are you? What are we doing? What is this? Why am I here?
Yeah, why am I here? What's going on? Yeah. Someone asked about, monitors at the moment. Like, it depends if you're looking at the best experience at the moment. Like, someone asked what's the best experience. Honestly, it depends if you're looking at it from value for money or you just don't have a cap on or a limit on money. Like, I'd say value for money, your 1440p and your mid-range, like R9 390 and GTX 970 are your sweet spot at the moment.
Dude, 1440p is like, 1440p is, honestly, I think it's necessary now. That was like one of the first things I noticed when I was benchmarking Fallout 4 at 1080. It was like, okay, this looks really bad. It was like it
Yeah.
has like no anti-aliasing, even with the TAA on. I was like, this looks not good.
Yeah, but I was testing, like going upstairs to my 1440p monitor and coming back down here to 4K. Like honestly, like even though the difference on the spec sheet is huge, like 4K has so many more pixels, whatnot, the actual like perceivable difference was a lot less than going from 1080p to 1440p, and it was crazy. Yeah. So I would say 1440p is definitely your sweet spot at the moment. With those,
the 970s,
the
970s handling it pretty well.
I wouldn't get two. Someone asked in the comments two 970s versus a 980 Ti. I'd go with 190 Ti all the way.
I agree.
But I would say like 1970 is fine. Like if you tweak your games properly, you don't have to. And ladies and gentlemen, you do not have to sit there and fucking max every setting out on your game. Yes, don't do that.
Yes, you do.
According to Jokey, you do.
Don't listen to him. Don't listen to him.
According to Jokey, you have to. But I've found with games, I can get them running so well on like, your strong graphics card, like your 970, 390. I can get that running so well at 1440p and it looks so good. And that's all I'm going to say. Like, that's your sweet spot at the moment. Then, of course, if money's no object, you can go and get a 4K monitor like I have in the background, 980 Ti, or even two of them if you want to go crazy. Or a 1440p 144 hertz monitor. That would be either the two choices. You got to make a switch up there. That's your trade-off.
Yeah.
Like you've got to say, do I want like Superman smooth, or do I want eye candy?
Superman smooth and eye candy, but we want both.
Yeah.
Both.
You want both. Yeah. So that's both, what we need.
And then all the settings turned up too.
Yeah, 4K 144 hertz. That'd be insane.
Yes, ultra. Maxed out all the anti-aliasing. 16 times MSAA, please.
Yeah. So yeah, you got to make the choice then after you start going with Uber, but you will want big graphics cards to support that as well. So it starts just like there's that exponential curve after the 970 1440p or the R9 390. It just starts to go up because you got to buy the 4K monitor, which is a lot more expensive, or the 1440p 144 hertz monitor. And then you got to buy the graphics cards to support it. So, yeah. And as for the ultra wides, I like the 34 inches. I haven't tried one yet, so I can't I've seen one. They look good, but I would love to sit down with one and actually game on one.
That's why I can't wait to try this out so I can.
Yeah, I want to hear your thoughts. Is it hyped or is it really legit? That's what I want to hear from you.
Well, this is like meant to be this is like the dream spec for ultra wides, but it has a lot of issues, QC issues.
Well, yeah, tell me how it is. Like, if you sit down in front of it and you're like, oh my God, my life has changed, I want to hear that. Or if it's just I don't even, peripheral vision, I can't see hardly anything, just don't even bother. So I want to know.
Yeah, I plan on doing a review of the monitor. I plan on maybe doing a video about its ultra wides worth it. That kind of stuff. So
exactly the experience, right? Because you're gonna at the end of the day, it's gonna be more harsh on your graphics card too. You got to push an extra 33% or some shit.
Yeah, Drake Owens was asking if we're ready for a Game of the Year vote. Like, no, I'm not, because not all the games are out, man. I'm not like Golden Joystick Awards, man. I like to wait until all the games are actually out, and for me, that won't be until after December 1st. Like, once we have Rainbow Six Siege and Just Cause 3 and AC Syndicate, and all those games have come out on PC after December 1st. Then I'll be ready to say what my game of the year. Once we have all the AAA titles out of the way that are going to be contenders, then I'll be willing to, because we don't know. Just Cause 3 might come out and be like the best game ever made. We don't know. Yeah. So that's why. Well, but
it is looking for you. It's looking like Witcher 3. Yeah. So far.
It's close. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's close.
Okay.
We'll have to wait to find out.
Well, for me, it's it's easily looking like Fallout 4. I haven't played Witcher 3 yet.
Well, there you go. So you have to, Well, that in that case, then you have no vote in the matter, because you have to have played everything.
Okay. Well, what do we say for worst game of 2015 so far?
Oh man, I don't even know.
I haven't, honestly, this year I haven't paid for a game.
Oh, Arkham Knight. Arkham Knight, sorry. Arkham Knight.
Okay, yeah, Arkham Knight. Yeah. I haven't even played that.
I don't even know why I had to think about that. I saw someone the other day on Video Gamer TV who was saying, he's like, all right, Jim Burns, I don't know really if it's, Fallout 4 is going to be my game of the year, because right now, currently, it's still Batman Arkham Knight. I was like, are you fucking kidding me? It's like, can you fuck off? He's like, I don't know, I have kind of a soft spot for Batman. I was like, you better have a big soft spot for Batman for that. It's like, he better be paying your rent.
Yeah, Batman better be popping into your house and building you a new PC and giving you an ultra wide for that, man. Because that game was just wrecked from what I hear. Right? It was just terrible. Like I'm watching gameplay of it. It looks terrible too. Like you're just watching the gameplay. Like, how do you play this?
Drake mentioned Rocket League. Honestly, that is probably. I'm probably thinking about doing a category. I'm probably thinking about doing some categories beyond just Game of the Year. And I'll say that Rocket League is probably going to get my award for multiplayer Game of the Year.
Oh, sweet.
That's probably going to be my multiplayer Game of the Year. Is going to be Rocket
League.
I'm
voting Legacy of the Void, baby.
I'll give you guys. I'll give you guys that one right now before we get out of here. But that's probably going to be my multiplayer Game of the Year, unless Battlefront blows me away. It's probably going to be Rocket League.
I'm giving Legacy of the Void because they've really done a good job. Like that's released now. I've actually got to start playing Legacy of the Void, but the multiplayer was like they had thought about how can we just make this straight to the action. New units are good. Like I'm voting Legacy of the Void so far. So really good job there. I see Total Biscuit was playing that over Fallout 4 too. That was interesting. He was given that first preference. So Batman boner, as someone said in the
well.
So anyway, yeah, guys, have we got any last minute like dying questions? Because we're going to get out of here soon and we're going to tear off.
Well, before, by the time that they even hear that and the questions start to roll in, we'll be out of time because I know you got to go to work in like 3 minutes.
Oh, yeah.
So.
Okay, well, we'll take this last one. Do you think the Predator Z35 Ultra Ride will have a ton of issues?
Don't know.
Yeah, I mean, they don't know. Like,
all these monitors are coming out are having issues, so it's hard to say, really.
Yeah, I mean, like, honestly, though, it's hit or miss. It seems to be really hit or miss with monitors. Like, you know, Acer's obviously released so many good monitors that haven't been plagued with problems, but then they released the 34, and that was plagued with problems. So you've really just got to wait and see. I mean, I'm not going to beat on Acer. Like, I'd rather beat on the reviewers that don't mention the things that, you know, the problems with the X34. But, you know, like, the company's going to make mistakes. And, you know, it's how many mistakes they continually make. Like, if they release the X35, it's like a pile of crap. Like, it's just got plagued with problems. That's going to start affecting their brand name, you know. So they got to learn to release a monitor and not have too many problems. Like, it's just consistency, really, yeah. So
yeah, you shouldn't have to worry about this kind of. When you buy a monitor, you shouldn't have to worry about, am I going to really be rolling the dice here? Is my monitor actually going to work when I get it? Are there going to be any dead pixels? I remember a time when you didn't have to worry about that kind of stuff. But,
is there a Techno City? But yes, there is.
That's Brian's other channel. It's a bondage. Yeah. It's a bondage dedication channel. It's where no actually means yes. So
yeah.
Well, I got no. Them as well.
There was a Techno City. That's when I failed a vid. Like I did that motherboard, that salvage motherboard. That was a Techno City day. That failed. So. Yeah.
All right, so let's get on out of here. Day's winding down for me. Today's just starting for you. You got to get to a golf tournament or something with that vest, I'm assuming.
Yeah, that's it, man. I'm just heading to golf.
He's gonna go play a round of golf with Arnold Palmer.
That's it. So I'm gonna go play some golf from here now, brother.
I'm sure he's wearing some pleated slacks with those and something.
That's it.
All right.
I had a buggy too.
All right, guys. Well, this is episode 23, winding down. See you guys all next week, same time, same place, same channel. 4:30 Eastern, our new time for the next couple months, and we will catch you guys next time.
Terra.
And roll the outro.